Hi there, monetizers. Welcome to Conversations with Hetty Online. Now, today's edition is super special because I am not riding alone. In fact, I cannot think of a better person to sit on this couch with me other than literally the second highest paid public speaker on the African continent. He is a 4 times TEDx speaker. And let me tell you something. I knew that we could do the Entrepreneurs Year in function because Futurist Kwame showed the way and he laid it out. He gave me the belief that this is possible. And so I am excited to introduce you all to Futurist Kwame. Yeah.
It's so cool to be here.
I am excited. I'm excited.
This was one of the things that was really exciting for me about this South African trip, that we could sit down and have this conversation. Thanks for having me. Hey, monetizers.
I'm super excited, Kwame. You know, in preparing for this conversation, I was thinking to myself, goodness, what direction do I want to go?
Right.
When you are speaking to an individual as accomplished as you, we can talk AI.
Yep.
We can talk about the future of business.
Yep.
We can talk Web3. We can talk about alternative currencies. We can talk crypto.
Yep.
We can talk about being a knowledgepreneur.
Yep.
But the thing that I want us to dig deep into today is public speaking.
Well, that's going to be a good one.
That's going to be a good
That's my baby girl.
Yes. I really want that because I think at the core of who you are, regardless of the different directions you may go and excel in, public speaking remains at the core and the root.
True.
You have found a way to amplify your voice, to use your voice, and to monetize your voice.
Absolutely.
And that for me is remarkable and phenomenal.
Thank you.
And it's interesting because often at times I'll get monetizers asking, how do I begin public speaking?
Right.
How do I even get people to book me, to get noticed, etc.? Kwame, let's start at the beginning.
Right.
When did it occur to you that, I've got a gift here?
Right.
And not only do I have a gift,
right,
this gift can pay me.
So, Yosh, this is going to be a good one. No, thanks for having me again. It has been an amazing 5 days with you. I hate that I need to get back on the plane, but I've been traveling so much, I need to rest. When did it start? When I was 6.
Wow.
I recited a poem. You know, in Ghana, we're the first country in Africa to get independence, 6th March 1957. We're about 60-something years old now. On every 6th March of every year, we have what we call the Independence March.
Yes.
And what happens with it is they bring all the schools out, and then you guys, go out and do all these ceremonial marches just to celebrate independence. So when I was 6, this is back in the small township that I grew up in called Doma Hinkro.
Yes.
They made me memorize a 12-stanza poem.
Wow.
About Ghana's independence, and I stood in front of 2,000 people in a park to recite that poem.
Incredible.
So I did it. Immediately I was done. My mom came to carry me.
Yes.
My headmaster came to hug me.
Yes.
My English teacher was throwing me up. Like, that's where I began the seed was sown. So mom always encouraged me to always get up and talk. And it started with Sunday school.
Yes.
Recite the memory verses, so when you go to church and they ask, you're the one who gets up to talk. Because mom was a church leader. Mom will go to the city, see some of her friends who have bought books for their children and they don't want to read it. So mom will carry that. So at 7, 8 years old, I was reading Daniela Steele romance novels, 2,000 pages, right? I'm sitting in a village. I've never seen, body of water. They don't know what a swimming pool is. I've never seen a traffic light. But I'm reading all these books with horses and ranches and, orange sky, sunsets and all of that. And it opens your mind. So I think those were the early seeds. But when did I actually realize that it was something? When I went to high school, I chose general arts because at that point I had already sort of discovered my my voice.
Yeah.
Through, interestingly, being born again, a preacher preached, I'm scared of hell, I give my life to Christ. You know that early exuberance
Yes.
of I want to snatch other people from hell.
Yes.
By the way, don't come to God ever because of hell. It's a relationship thing. So I'm scared. So I started preaching. I started doing dawn broadcasting. I started getting into schools to preach.
Yes.
So this started at age 15 when I finished junior high school.
Okay.
So by the time I went to senior high school, I had already done preaching for a while, and I had built charisma, which is public speaking.
Yeah.
It's public speaking 101.
Yes, absolutely.
So I had built charisma. I had learned from Archbishop Duncan Williams, Bishop Thomas Dexter Jakes, TD Jakes. Then I discovered a man called Noel Jones.
Yes.
So all I do, and I'm already dropping the gems, is I model. So they use a phrase, I use the phrase. They articulated a certain way, I articulated a certain way. I have a video where I was talking about how sometimes you need a little bit of trouble to be able to know your real friends.
Yes.
That modeling was modeled precisely after Bishop Noel Jones.
Wow.
There was a message he preached in 1994 where he goes, it's easy to follow Jesus when he's feeding 5,000 people. It's easy to follow Jesus when he's walking on water. Go, Jesus, go, Jesus, go. That exact thing, I rehearsed it over and over and over. And that message was about 10 years ago, but I used it to record a video recently, went viral.
You know, the how you just recited that now?
Yes.
Even the your tone.
Exactly. Because I modeled. I embodied exactly what I was speaking.
Wow.
So you capture the emotion, you capture attention, everything. Yes. We'll get there. But let me answer your question. So I get into high school. These little seeds are already there, and I have the idea. And then in high school, I continue preaching. I finish high school. What happens in Ghana, the transition from high school to university is 1 year. One year. Normally, what parents will let you do is you go and work, right? You find something to do to occupy the 1 year. So if your parents have a business, you go sit with them. If not, the best thing for a high schooler to do once you graduated is to teach for a small salary.
Yeah.
My option was to teach and earn 40 cedis at the time. This was in 2009.
Yeah.
So the equivalent of 40 cedis now is about $4.
Yeah.
So that was what I was going to earn per month at that time. I said, no, I'm not going to be able to do it. What do I have that I could do something with?
Yes.
Then it came to me, you can speak and you can write.
Yes.
Because in high school, Dad switched up general arts. I always wanted to do the speaking thing. I discovered my voice, and he switched it to science. You know how parents can influence. So I lost all interest. By the time I went through chemistry, biology, e-math class, the first time I was like, the girls must be crazy. Me. Yeah. So my only interest in school now was Writers and Debaters Club.
Okay.
So that built it. Yes. So now I've gotten out of school. The internet is taking off. What can I do? Kwame, you have a voice and you can write.
Yes.
My small mind at the time told me the only thing you can do is go straight into entertainment. Because at the time, I had had a little bit of a challenge in life, and Christians didn't show love. They rather backstabbed. So I was angry at God for a period. So I said, the other place I can use voice apart from church is entertainment. I can be radio, I can be TV.
True.
Right? True. And so that's when specifically at age 19, that I went, okay, I got this.
Yes.
And then I started looking at packaging as a craft, and then the rest is history.
Sure. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. To just that journey from the age of 6,
yes,
building up to the age of 19.
Yes.
It's often said that when you find that thing you are good at and that you have been placed on this earth to do, in as much as it might be nerve-wracking, there is that thing inside of you that it feels exhilaration.
You just know.
And you just keep wanting to
do it. You just know.
How do you feel when you're on a stage or you see your voice impacting others?
When I'm on stage, I'm alive.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah.
All of me is present.
Yes.
I'm alive. Every word that comes out of my mouth, every face that lights up, every time somebody nods in agreement to something they've always known.
Yes.
But they just didn't know how to articulate it.
Yes.
It's life, it's energizing, it's fulfillment.
Yes.
When I get off stage speaking to 1,000 people, but one person walks up to me and said, this is something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
And today you give me the courage to do it.
Yes.
It means more to me than any amount
Yes.
of money.
Yes.
How I know or how I knew that public speaking was my thing was because at some point I could do it for years on end, even if I was never going to get paid.
Wow. That's when you know it's a calling.
That's how you know
Yeah.
that this is what you were placed here on earth for.
Yes.
When I'm on stage, Hetty, I'm alive.
Yes. Yes.
I'm alive.
Yes.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. For me, it's a privilege.
Absolutely.
Whenever you get the opportunity to stand in front of people, it's not a function of how much you know or how much more you know than them. It's a function of the fact that the universe has created a need
Yes. Yes.
for that which you have to offer.
Absolutely.
And that within the people's need, there's a place for your gift.
Exactly.
And that's the greatest form of honor
Yes.
that you could be given in this earth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I truly believe that it's a ministry.
Absolutely.
You know, some people, a ministry is not always behind a pulpit. It is serving others through your gift.
Yes, please.
You know, this past Saturday, you spoke at the Entrepreneurs Year End. And I was saying, no, Kwame is going to come and shake the table. I was not ready for the fact that you were going to break the table. I wasn't ready for that you would completely annihilate the table. I'm like, wait, where's the table? It's gone.
No table now.
There's no more table. You literally came in there and left us completely speechless.
Absolutely.
But I also know that over and above the fact that you are anointed into this ministry, there is work.
Yes.
There is preparation.
Yes.
There is research.
Yes.
There is taking your craft
Serious.
seriously.
Yes.
Because you came in there and you spoke to us.
Yes.
As if there was one person in the room.
Yes.
You made us laugh.
Yep.
You made us think. You made us contemplate. You made us really connect with you.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Fantastic. This is going to be $1 million masterclass. So you guys send Hetty some money. Let me walk you through my process. First time ever. I'm doing it because I'm talking to you. I want you to receive it.
Yes.
All of you who have gotten it, come and pay here. Okay?
Yeah.
This is my process.
Yeah.
First of all, every public speaker is a knowledge merchant.
Yes.
What you peddle as a trade is knowledge.
Absolutely.
So, the substance of your trade is information.
Yes.
The more informed you are, the more impactful you can become.
Absolutely.
That's the basics. No speaker can be a non-reader.
Yes. Yes.
If you're reading 5 books a year, public speaking is not for you.
Yeah.
I was in a conversation with my partner, and I was telling her, oh, by the way, you know, from the last time we spoke, when I told you about this book till now, I've just finished 5 books, and that's about 3 weeks ago. Yes.
So you consume
I am a
information.
ferocious reader. I read like I'm mad. When we're preparing for this, before the first conversation that you brought me into, I was on my phone, I was reading.
Yes.
Just when we finished, I was in a conversation with Papa, I was reading.
Yes.
I consume knowledge ferociously. Why? Because our gift is amplified through the quality of information we have.
True.
So that's number one.
Yes.
You have to be able to, if you want to be serious, if you want to take this thing very serious, and this is the reason why it's a no-brainer. Whether you want to be a professional public speaker or you're going to remain a monetizer, there is no monetizing in the one that you and I teach outside of you being able to clearly articulate your thoughts.
Literally. Literally.
So whether you like it or not, you better take communication serious.
You have to, even to sell your product.
I'm telling you, even to sell your vision to the people who are working with you so they can buy into that vision, wake up energized to come do it with you, you need an exceptional amount of public speaking skill.
Yes.
So if you're not able to sit down minimum 6 hours, take a break, take a tea break, take a walk. I'm not saying sit down continuous, but if you cannot take a day where you say, today is my research day. Today is my reading day. And I'm on the desk, I'm in the couch, and I'm doing 6 hours of work. I'm getting the information. I am checking them out on other sources to make sure that it's true and it's factual. After that, I am applying this information to see how the process actually works. And once I am done, I'm documenting the entire process so that I'm able to now put it in a presentable form to the next person. You're not ready.
True.
Read, research. The two are different. Read, research, study. They're different.
Yes.
Then, once you read, research, study, the next step is rehearse. This is where the thing is. Public speaking is like swimming.
Yeah.
Theory doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until you jump into the water.
Yes.
Drink a little bit of the water.
Yes.
Cough a bit.
Yes.
Choke a bit.
Yeah.
But now you're swimming.
Exactly.
And what happens is, if you stop swimming for a year, you will go back in that water gasping for air.
Exactly. You start again from scratch.
You have to start again.
Yeah.
So I am now 14 years in professional speaker. I still do 2 hours of mirror rehearsal every week.
Absolutely. That's what I see with public speaking, is that there is no end.
No.
There is only continuous improvement.
The day you bring an end to your rehearsal, your research, your study, and your reading is the day the next speaker takes your spot.
Literally.
Done.
Yeah.
And in today's world of democratized access to information, you're not competing with South Africans anymore.
Yes.
You're competing with Chelsea Cross from UK.
Yeah.
You're competing with Mel Robbins from America.
Absolutely.
It's a global audience, global platforms.
Yes.
That's what you're competing against. So my process is fairly simple. I read a lot. Reading gives me base information. Then I go into research to have more substantial information.
Yes.
Then that substantial information needs to be put in.
Yeah.
So I study. And when I study, I go into memorization because I'm a technical speaker. So a lot of my speaking comes with presentation. But the last thing you want to do as a professional is to always be referring to your screen or your presentation.
Yes.
So memorization allows you to have the useful information at hand. It allows you to embody and leave the presentation.
Yes.
Nothing is sexier than when a speaker has a presentation that they don't need to turn back and look at.
Exactly.
And that's the kind of thing that I do.
Yes.
Now, the way I study, this is where the secrets are. And at this point, we need to give honor to who honor is due. I learned this from Vuzite Makwayo. He is a blueprint for what I looked at to become a public speaker. Another gem that I can drop for you. If you're serious about this, you're going to need a blueprint.
Yes.
The beautiful thing about the world is that there's nothing new under the sun.
True.
There's no avant-garde knowledge. There's nothing you're about to say or do that has not been done before.
That's why they say originality is your ability to conceal your source. That is it. Literally. Literally.
Learn, I paraphrase, I'm going to steal yours.
Yeah.
But mine is copyright is knowing the right way to copy.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
That's copyright.
Yeah.
Because all you need is to copy, contextualize, and paste.
This is it.
Period.
Yes.
Right?
And the contextualization is important, because what I find you do well is, yes, you've got the knowledge, you've researched and you studied, but your interpretation and comprehension of that knowledge is that unique flavor and spice that nobody else can replicate.
Exactly.
Because the way Kwame interprets that knowledge will be different to the way Hetty interprets it. And that is the great value you bring to your audience.
Thank you so much. And that's what the secret is.
Yeah.
So whoever you are that wants to take this serious, you need to have a model.
Yes.
You can have 5 blueprints. I like Hetty, I like Kwame, I like Vuzi, I like Tony Robbins, I like Jordan Peterson. What do I like about each of them?
Yeah.
I like Vuzi's poise and posture. I like Jordan Peterson's memorization. I like Hetty's flair and the faith-based thing. I like Kwame's interpretation and how he embodies this. So now you have 5 models that you're picking individual things from, and then now you can sprinkle it with your uniqueness.
Exactly. And that creates a whole new product.
Once you get on stage, it's boom. Because it's like what's happening is, I taste a bit of Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's Vuzi. But wait, it's also Hetty.
Yes.
But it's also hair.
Yes.
That's where it comes from. So VT taught me this, the way I study, know a little bit about everything.
Yeah.
You're a public speaker.
Yes.
Don't let somebody walk in and ask you about relationships and you have nothing to say.
Yeah.
It's okay to say, I know nothing here,
Yeah.
or I don't know much about this,
Yes.
so I will not be able to speak deeply into it. But at least know a little something.
Yeah.
Then, for your subject matter, know everything. Here is the secret.
And be that thought leader.
Fully.
Yeah.
And not just in thought and presentation, in execution.
Yes.
Leave what you preach.
Yes.
This is what would, once we get to how to market yourself as a public speaker and actually get booked, this is what differentiates the big players from those.
Yeah.
Because people can see talk
Yeah. Yes.
without substance
Absolutely.
from substance.
Absolutely.
Anytime you put together an entrepreneurship conference,
Yeah.
I will pay and come.
Yes.
Because I've walked into your store.
Yes.
I've heard the history of 7 stores
Yes.
and what COVID did to it
Yes.
and how you picked it up,
Yes.
repositioned yourself,
Yes.
went into a new business,
Yes.
built from scratch, and now you're in that business and you're thriving.
Absolutely. There's a body of work. And
There is a body
evidence.
of work that backs the stuff that you're talking about.
Yes.
So you didn't read it on the internet.
Yeah.
You're not, regurgitating stuff
Yeah.
that you saw in Forbes
Yes.
or in a Harvard Business Review. This is lived work.
Exactly.
It makes the world of difference.
Absolutely.
So those are the things that really go into it.
Yes.
And then the intentionality.
Yes.
You want to be a public speaker, there's a brand building aspect to it.
Absolutely.
And it comes with intentionality.
Yes.
One of the things I would say, our game is a game of ego.
Go deeper. Go deeper for me.
Okay. So there's a difference between pride and confidence. Our game is a confidence game. Now, in my country, they have something called LAFA. LAFA is locally acquired foreign accent. So there are people who have a problem with the way I speak English.
Oh my goodness.
And the problem with that, I want to be a decent human being on this podcast. I don't want to be my normal, violent self. The problem with that kind of thinking is it exposes your ignorance.
Yes.
When somebody speaks French, they speak French in a French accent.
Yes.
When somebody speaks Spanish, oh, sexy language, it's in a Spanish accent.
Yes.
English is not your language.
Yes. Yes.
It is somebody's language.
Yes.
So I cannot speak English in a Tree accent.
Yes. Yes.
So one of the things you need to overcome as a public speaker, especially if you want to be global, because if you make a mistake and accentize is not a word, I'm creating it.
Yeah.
And accentize your English to South Africa or to Ghana, then they invite you to speak in Nashville, the United States, and nobody can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, it just won't land.
It just doesn't, because you're speaking English in the context of your tongue.
You see, what you were talking about here, Kwame, some people are going to misinterpret.
Yes.
They are going to think, oh, Kwame is saying we must sound whatever.
No.
But what they fail to understand is that when you take your craft seriously, you invest in honing the craft. You mentioned Vusi Tembekwayo, and he said, you can talk about my accent until the chickens come home to roost. I speak the way I do because I have taken elocution lessons so that I am globally compatible. It is like that plug that you can plug in any country that you go to. And that is why you can charge in multiple countries.
Thank you very much. Thank you for driving it home. I'm done. I don't need to say anything.
I mean, it's literally that.
It's as simple as that. It's the same as if you have a product and you wanted the product to go to America. America has a quality standard.
Yes.
If you want the product to go to UK, UK has a quality standard.
Yes.
No matter how good your product is, if you want it to be global, you need to meet the quality standard of the entire globe.
That's it.
Your ability.
And that's a bare minimum.
That's the bare minimum.
That's a bare minimum.
That's what gets you into the market.
We're not even talking about thriving.
No, you've not started competing just to qualify to enter the market. So when you want to do public speaking on a global level, what I'm saying to you, that is a global quality standard.
Yes.
And it involves proper elocution,
Yes.
proper pronunciation.
Yes.
It is not an accent. It is
Yes.
the right way to speak the language.
Exactly.
Period.
Yes.
So that's another thing. Then the intentionality is to now understand that the value of your message is directly proportional to the value of your brand. How people perceive you, because the human mind does not logically understand value. Is the reason why when the rose flower is in the bush is worth nothing.
Yes.
When it moves into the luxury flower shop,
Yes.
and a boyfriend buys it,
Yes.
all of a sudden,
Yeah.
that same thing in
Yeah.
a different
Yeah.
package and
Yeah.
brand
Yeah.
brings butterflies to your stomach.
Yeah. It can literally buy your heart.
But you probably drove past it yesterday on that side of the farm, and it meant nothing to you.
Yes.
So you need to understand that the quality of your brand can dumb down your message. You are the message.
Yes.
Here are the very important things. So that's the reason why public speakers who are at the top act and move a certain way. You cannot show up at certain places.
Yes.
You can't show up at certain places.
Yes.
You cannot do certain things. You cannot
Yeah.
at a certain level, because at the end of the day, you want your message to be amplified.
Because it's then, if I'm hearing you correctly, it's the equivalent of you being a rose in the forest.
Perfect.
It's the incorrect audience.
Yes, please.
But when you allow your brand to be in the right space, it's the
perceived value
Yes.
comes to play.
Yes.
You know, so that's the thing. That the examples on perceived value is so interesting to me. I think there's a historical example of a king, I think Poland also, that wanted people to eat potatoes. And he made a decree and said, everybody's going to eat potatoes.
Yeah.
People, the human mind just enjoys being rebellious. When you say don't go, he says, I'm coming from there.
Yeah.
So he tried legislation
Yeah.
and it didn't work. Guess what he did? He then sat with some of his thinkers and they understood the power of perceived value. So he now came out and he says, from today, potato is banned for the ordinary citizen. It is going to be for royalty only.
Yes.
It is a royal fruit. It is a luxury item. And if you are caught growing it, you'll be jailed. Guess what? Wow. 3 months down the line, there are all these hidden potato farms, counterfeit. A year on, everybody has grown potato and is eating it.
Yes.
Because the brain cannot perceive value logically.
Yes.
That's where psychology comes in.
Exactly.
So you need to be able to understand your message and out of that message carve a brand that allows you to amplify that message that you would be able. There is a video that went viral on TikTok recently of a young white boy speaking about the potential of Africa. Wow. And in the comments, I read and I go, that's Africans-ish. They were insulting and trolling, like, oh, you are the problem. Your grandfather was the problem. And I'm like, where are the speakers who would have taken all these facts? This is a well-researched kid who understands the potential of the continent, who is saying it's the world that needs Africa, not Africa that needs the world. And he's telling the story because none of us are up there telling it.
Yes.
And instead of you guys to see this as a call, a clarion call to step up to the plate and start telling our stories, look at what you're investing your energies in.
This is it.
This is the problem.
This is actually the problem. And that is why I have been saying that 2024, for me personally, it is the year to claim it.
Period.
It is not the year to be passive, watch others.
Don't ask for permission.
If you don't ask for permission. If you see it, you go for it and you claim it. Literally.
That's my energy.
It's a one thing we're just not doing.
No, I was transitioning from entertainment into this. This is a serious craft. I wanted to talk business. I wanted to talk marketing. Business people looked at me and said, what have you built? Everybody said, nobody is going to ever give you a chance. 300 stages in. I had been paid with Coca-Cola and meat pie and citations.
Wow.
But I wanted it so bad that it didn't matter that temporarily I was being paid with Coca-Cola and meat pie. I wanted to get there. Once my first TEDx hit, it was game over.
That was it.
That was it. Now I could say, look back at 300 stages. Go check my content. Don't approach me with cheap. Don't approach me with free.
Yes.
I did that 300 stages ago. If you want it,
yes,
you put in the work.
Yeah.
You block your ears from what everybody's saying. And you go. That's the difference between those at the top and those who are still dreaming. Execution. Ruthless execution until you achieve results. That's it.
Kwame, I have seen you be the first in incredible things. I remember, I think it was during COVID, you had the University of Personal Development.
Yeah.
And you had a program I tuned in online.
Yeah.
And you literally had speakers from all over the world.
Yeah.
I still have the notes and I still refer to them.
Wow.
That is how, but it was an event I have never seen before.
Yeah.
And it's never been repeated before.
Yeah.
Then you took that. Then you still went on to fill up stadiums
Yes.
multiple times
Yes.
to show us that, oh, you think I can only do it once.
Yeah.
And then you continue to do it again and again.
Yep.
What gives you the vision to be the first version of creating things?
I'm humbled. Excellence is a testament to the glory of God.
Amen.
What happens is we come from a kingdom of excellence.
Yes.
And so it is in our very nature,
Yes.
as far as we tune in to the God side of us, to do things with excellence.
Yes.
What gives me the energy to try first things that have never been done is when I hear the voice of God on a matter, it is settled.
Yes.
So when I hear Kwame, fill up the UPS auditorium, it's filled.
Yes.
It's so complete in my mind. There's nothing you can tell me in real life
Yes.
that would deter me.
And you don't allow yourself to get distracted.
I won't hear you at that point.
Yeah.
The place is filled. My strength is that even if I fail, I'm better than you because I had the audacity to try.
That's it. That is it.
Period.
Yeah.
In COVID, before I did University of Personal Development, I was doing global conversations.
Yes.
I say here today with no fear.
It was brilliant online.
Yes.
The lives.
I messaged Barack Obama,
Yeah.
Michelle Obama,
Yeah.
Vuzita Mekoyo,
Yes.
Trevor Noah,
Yes.
Gary Vaynerchuk,
Yes.
Tony Robbins,
Yes.
Jordan Peterson. What do I have to lose?
Literally though.
Out of those,
Yeah.
that's what broke the relationship for me and VT.
Yeah.
That's what got me David Meltzer. David Meltzer, it's
I literally died when I saw that.
Exactly.
I was resurrected. I was like, oh
How?
my goodness.
I
couldn't
Yep.
believe it.
Yep. I just went out and I sent a bunch of DMs.
Because he's huge, hey?
He's big.
He is enormous.
He's Gary Vaynerchuk, Tony Robbins big.
Yes. Yes.
Send a message. Said, hey, just the fact that you took the courage to message me, let's do it.
Man.
That's the difference. So for me, what empowers that courage is the voice of God. Once that thought is formed, and I know that it didn't originate from selfish desires.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm trying to do to look for fame.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm trying to do to, position myself as, but because oftentimes this is how I know it's God. When He says it at that particular moment, I have no capacity to do it on my own.
Yes. Yes.
The vision is so big.
Yeah.
My next event, by the way, which I'm bringing you, is 16,000 people in a stadium.
Wow. Wow.
When He told us, let's do a stadium, even till I sit here,
Wow.
I'm like, He said it, He will do it.
Yeah.
That's how I know it's God.
And that's a thing because it's also rooted in something greater than you.
Me, yes.
It's no longer actually about you.
no.
You are just the conduit
No.
at this point.
When
You're
he
just
said
a vessel.
When He said it the first time, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So He put me on tour this year.
Yeah.
I went to 16 universities.
Yes.
I went to 16 universities.
Yes.
A total of 18,000 kids. When I finished the last university, the Holy Spirit said to me, you dummy.
Yeah.
if you put a bus in each of these schools
Done.
and bring them in, isn't it failed?
Yeah.
I told you we could do it.
It is done.
Now announce it. We're doing a stadium nest.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what emboldens me.
Yes.
Knowing that it's not my vision and the guy that gave the vision will make the provision.
Absolutely.
That's what leads me on. And then to honor that visionary, the original one, with excellence.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
So that flower sitting at the right position matters. That light being positioned right matters.
Yes.
The speaker entering with the right sound matters.
Yes.
Every single detail is important. That's what leads me the way I do the things that I do.
Absolutely. And you know, it's interesting because literally these points that you've just said now, any person aspiring to be great in public speaking,
Sure.
if you literally just take that,
You will be
you will be fine.
Oh, you will be fine. Trust
You
me.
will literally be fine.
You will be fine.
It's just that people are not always willing to execute on that. But literally, if you just do that, you're home free.
Yep. I speak to a group of people that won't like me, but they'll love me later. If you're somebody that always sees somebody speak or put a piece of content and you go, but I can do better than them.
Then why aren't you?
Nobody cares.
You haven't though.
Shut up.
Literally.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
They're doing it.
They're doing it.
They're in the ring.
Yes.
They're teeing themselves.
Yes.
You're sitting on the fence going, I can do better.
Yeah.
Every spectator is a better coach.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Get in the ring.
Yes.
Then we will know.
And that's the interesting thing, because you will get the greatest criticism from those who aren't doing anything.
Exactly.
But you'll get the praise from those who
are
do the work,
actually-
because they can
they know.
see what you are doing.
They know.
They know.
They know.
And they know the hurdles and the
I
challenges.
didn't text you for 24 hours after your event because I know.
You knew.
I know.
You knew. I literally did not know my left right.
You're going to need about a month
Yeah.
to unpack.
Literally.
Yeah. So I know.
Yes.
That's why I will never criticize you.
I would
only
actually, like,
cheer you on.
The way I am feeling, I can only imagine what Kwame goes through.
Yeah. So that's it. Our people, we're more wishful thinking
Yeah.
than putting in the work.
Yes.
Nobody ever got rewarded for ideas
Yeah.
or concepts
Yes.
or I can do better.
Yes.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. That's what I like that company for. Just do it.
Literally.
Period.
Period.
We can have all the conversations after, but please do it.
It's so true. I mean, there are really no books written about the excuses for not doing it. None.
Nobody.
There are no awards dished out for that.
Nobody.
There's absolutely nothing written
Nobody.
about that.
And the beauty of public speaking now in Africa is that it is still a virgin industry.
I feel like there is, in fact, a gaping hole.
It's a virgin industry. The knowledge industry
Yeah.
is such a ripe and ready because technology is going to make one thing clear.
Yes.
Learning doesn't need a classroom to happen.
Yes.
So with the democratization of learning,
Yeah.
knowledge merchants will
Yeah.
become the most in-demand people. And that's what public speaking offers you.
Yes.
It offers you to position yourself as a thought leader,
Yeah.
as a knowledge merchant,
Yes.
as somebody who can offer learning on the go at any point in time
Yeah.
in various formats.
Absolutely.
So your speaking becomes that ebook.
Yes.
Your speaking becomes that course.
Literally.
It becomes that challenge.
Yes.
It becomes that community.
Yes.
It becomes that conference. It becomes the summit. It becomes the masterclass.
Yes.
It becomes the 30-something different ways
Yeah.
that you can actually package information and knowledge and serve it to people on the go.
Absolutely. And
That's the
hence
power.
your legacy.
The internet will never forget. You can leave things for generations unborn.
Yeah.
And they can come in and tap into that information.
I mean, man, what you're saying is so true, because to this day, I listen to Miles Monroe.
Where are you going? He sounds more alive to me
Now.
than when he was alive.
Then, yes. And the fact that the information is still relevant,
Fresh.
like,
It's because information doesn't die.
it doesn't die, it doesn't rot, it doesn't expire.
I'm sorry that we speak like this. We're faith people, and our faith doesn't offend anybody.
Yeah.
So just pick the nuggets from it. We're not
Yeah.
pushing our faith on anyone.
Yeah.
Jesus said, "The words I speak to you are spirit and they are life."
Yes.
Words, by their very essence,
Yes.
are potent, living. That's why
Yes.
somebody can say to you, "You're a failure."
Yeah.
And 15 years down
Yeah.
the line, the voice
Yeah.
is still playing. You are a failure.
Yeah.
It is alive.
It is alive, and you make it manifest because you then internalize and own it.
I say to you, maybe outside of preaching the gospel, I don't think, and healing the sick, doctors, all of that, I respect you, but I don't think there's any nobler profession than the work you and I do.
Yeah.
And that's why we get so much attacks.
Yeah.
Because everybody, every generation, Jesus said it. He said, you guys, you know how to kill your prophets, O Jerusalem. Yeah. So the custodians of the knowledge that will liberate the people oftentimes become the ones that the people attack.
Oh, my goodness. Kwame, you've spoken about this power of the words.
Yes, sir.
And speaking life.
If
As we bring this conversation to a conclusion, I want you to give us a word for 2024. For those who are watching, who are at different stages, who you are perhaps igniting something in them right now, they have been, wondering what to do, or who are now ready to finally take charge.
Yeah.
In whatever space they may be in whatever ministry they have been appointed to on this earth.
Yeah.
Can you just speak a message for us for 2024?
the world's greatest problems are the world's greatest opportunities.
Yes.
Anytime you are faced with a challenge, it is an opportunity for you to solve that problem or challenge, document it, and package it for those who are facing that exact same challenge.
Yes.
The power of the year we're about to get into is that you can look back at everything you've done. You can build a profile of that thing.
Yes.
And you can self-access. And what you can do is you can self-diagnose. So 2024 is not the year for analysis paralysis.
No.
It's not the year for overthinking. It's not the year for what ifs and what nots. 2024 is an execution year.
Yes.
It's a year you wake up and say, I'm going to do something today
Yes.
that gets me closer
Yeah.
to my desired goal.
Absolutely.
That's all it takes.
Yes.
Rome is not built in a day.
Yeah.
All it takes is that one step every single day. The reason why this is important is because posterity will judge all of us.
Yeah.
Our legacy is the only way we can immortalize ourselves. The ideas that we execute, the value that we create, the solutions that we deliver, just like Miles Monroe is serving us now.
Yes.
A generation is coming that is depending on us.
Yes.
And if you don't come out and share that story, if you don't come out and build that product, if you don't establish that service and build a sustainability system around it, a generation is coming that will perish because of you. Imagine if Joseph was not at place in Egypt when the famine came. The whole of Israel would have perished.
Yeah.
This is the call on each and every one of us, our life, regardless of religion,
Yeah.
regardless of faith.
Yeah.
Every one of us have something we need to contribute to the good of humanity. Mine and your work
Yes.
is to look inside and say, when I'm gone, I want to have left humanity better than I've left it,
That
I met it.
Yes.
And that's my charge to you. And no matter what you do, this is something I've discovered that I'm giving to you as a gift. You will thank me later. Find out how you want to find out. But you're not going to be a person of value outside of your ability to sit and meditate. It's just a word I felt very strongly to drop. Whether you want to be a public speaker, dear entrepreneur, learn to sit in silence and meditate. Feed your brain with the right information. Encourage yourself. Tell yourself where you're going. See all of the mental images. Use your imagination to create the world you're looking for. Imagination is a womb
Yes.
that can birth realities.
Yes.
And you only awaken it in silence, in calmness, and in quietness. The problem with our world is that there's too much noise.
Yes.
Noise distorts vision.
It does.
Sit, meditate, get up, execute. 2024 is waiting for you.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Kwame. I received that. I received that for myself as well. Thank you. Thank you so much. Monetizers, there you have it. This has been such a special edition of Conversations with Hetty. I have brought you an absolute gem, somebody who has become a brother and family to me. And I hope you've enjoyed the conversation. As you can see, Kwame and I can literally go on and on and on. It's been an absolute honor. Please share your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and to like. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye for now.